exactly are cold wallets, and how do they differ from hot wallets when it comes to storing cryptocurrencies?
Alright, let's take it from the top and really break this down. Think of cryptocurrency not as something that's just lying around on people's computers. It's actually part of a massive shared ledger spread across blockchains, maintained by loads of people all at once. Now, if you want to get in on this action, you're going to need something called a crypto wallet. Imagine it like your personal access key, validating your moves with the crypto you've got stashed and letting you send some coin from your pocket to someone else's. Alternatively, you could even swap one type of crypto for another if the functionality allows it. Taking a trip down memory lane, there's a legend that Satoshi Nakamoto, the mysterious genius who kicked off the whole Bitcoin revolution, was the brain behind the first ever Bitcoin wallet. His groundbreaking code gave birth to the Bitcoin QT protocol, which turned into the very first Bitcoin wallet. This wasn't just any old thing. It was a full-on application for making transactions and keeping your digital cash safe. However, Bitcoin QT eventually evolved into Bitcoin Core, which is still in use today, though it may hold little interest for the average user. It requires downloading the entire data chain from the beginning, from the very first block, and at times can be relatively complex to use. In 2014, the world was introduced to Trezor, marking the arrival of the first hardware wallet for Bitcoin storage. At its core, a crypto wallet is essentially a set of two keys, a private or secret key, and a public key. The private key is crucial for authorizing transactions, whether you're sending or receiving cryptocurrency. Meanwhile, the public key acts as your wallet's address for receiving funds and is shared with others to receive payments. When I need to receive money, I share my public key. Conversely, when I want to send money, I use my private key to sign the transaction. Crypto wallets are broadly classified into two types: custodial and non-custodial. A custodial wallet is one that's registered with a third party, like a cryptocurrency exchange or another intermediary service, such as blockchain.com. These wallets are convenient because you can manage them via a web interface, creating an account with an email, a user ID, and a password to access your wallet. However, this convenience comes with a trade-off. The exchange or service hosting your wallet knows your identity and has access to your funds since they hold the private key to your wallet. As the most fundamental rule of cryptocurrency reminds us, if the keys aren't yours, neither is the money. Choosing a custodial wallet means you're sacrificing anonymity and security for convenience. The risk here is losing control over your assets. If someone else holds the private keys to your funds, they can potentially freeze your assets based on legal judgments or other motives. There are plenty of examples where this has happened. Additionally, your funds are at risk of being lost due to service crashes, hacks, or other issues with the service infrastructure. A non-custodial wallet means that you're the sole keeper of your keys and passwords. Forget any of these, and it's essentially like saying goodbye to your money. These crypto wallets fall into two categories. There are those designed for use on PCs, which we call hot wallets, and there are the hardware wallets, also known as cold wallets. The latter are exclusively for storing your cryptocurrency offline and don't need a constant internet connection to safeguard your assets. Desktop wallets are akin to a banking app, enabling you to send and receive transactions, view your balance, all without directly engaging in blockchain maintenance. Full-fledged desktop wallets integrate deeply with the blockchain, necessitating the download of the entire Bitcoin blockchain history on your computer. And let me tell you, it's no small amount. We're talking about more than 350 gigabytes and growing. Then there's the likes of MetaMask and Tronlink, other desktop wallets that spare you from downloading the entire transaction history. However, the principle remains the same. Upon registration, you secure your private key, and if that key's lost, so are your funds. Hardware wallets could easily be mistaken for a regular USB flash drive. They're touted for being more secure and are ideal for the long-term storage of digital currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. These gadgets aren't connected to the internet constantly. They can be plugged into any computer when you need to access your funds. While hardware wallets come with a price tag, in contrast, custodial wallets and other types are often free to use. And when it comes to choosing a hardware wallet, you'll find there's a wide variety to choose from. When diving into the most interesting devices on the market, Trezor undoubtedly captures attention first. Launched in August of 2014, it essentially pioneered the hardware wallet industry. The Trezor 1 model stands out for its accessibility, making it an excellent choice for crypto newcomers. It boasts compatibility with computers and smartphones alike, supporting Windows 7 and later, Mac OS 10.11 and up, Linux, and Android, among others. You can find it on a variety of marketplaces. The package not only includes the device itself, but also 2 cables of varying lengths, an assortment of stickers, and a blank sheet for recording your recovery seed phrases. Inside its casing, you'll find a CPU board based on ARM architecture, Cortex-M4 from what I recall, with custom software and an LCD screen that supports a 240 by 240 resolution. The device itself is built on open source software and is equipped with 2 physical buttons for interactive user feedback. Another significant contender in the market is Ledger, renowned as a segment leader for its multi-currency support, robust security, and diverse range of models. SafePal, a Chinese hardware wallet brand, also deserves mention. Its design resembles a thick credit card and supports an impressive array of crypto assets, approximately 30,000 by my count, and includes a built-in camera. A potential downside is its closed-source software, a detail that sparks debate on its merits. One notable limitation of SafePal is the somewhat fragile material from which it's made. However, it's important to acknowledge that SafePal represents one of the most budget-friendly hardware wallet options available on the market. Another noteworthy wallet is the Tangem wallet, a cutting-edge hardware wallet capable of supporting over 4,000 different currencies, along with decentralized finance systems. What sets this device apart from its rivals is its higher certification under the EAL6+ standard, IP68 water resistance, and a unique approach to security. It does away with the conventional recovery phrase. Instead, Tangem suggests using a trio of cards, ensuring that losing one doesn't spell disaster. The person finding the lost card can't access the funds, while you, holding the other 2, can easily reset your password and secure your assets anew. They also have the Tangem Note, mirroring the original's features minus DeFi support, perfect for newcomers focusing on stable cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. This device can be effortlessly purchased, loaded with crypto, and even gifted. Its card management is remarkably user-friendly. Simply install the Tangem Note app on your smartphone, whether iOS or Android, tap the card to your phone, and you're ready to go. In the world of hot wallets, there's a plethora of choices. Take MetaMask, for instance. Primarily known as a browser extension for Google Chrome, yet also available as mobile apps for both iOS and Android platforms. A notable limitation is its inability to handle Bitcoin transactions. Another mention-worthy wallet is TronLink, originally dedicated to the Tron network but now also supporting Ethereum. Trust Wallet shouldn't be overlooked either. It's a widely popular wallet supporting a vast array of over 53 blockchains and 160,000 coins and tokens. It is especially user-friendly, offering features like crypto swaps, NFT storage, and interactions with DeFi protocols, making it an ideal choice for beginners.
It felt like you were filling up Wikipedia on the side. If we move assets from one wallet to another, do we completely avoid maintenance or transfer fees, or is there something called gas that we need to burn for the transaction to proceed?
If we move funds between wallets?
Yes, specifically between hardware cold wallets.
When I transfer funds between any wallets, whether they're hardware cold or software hot, it involves moving assets, and I'm subject to a transaction fee. In the Ethereum network, this is known as a gas fee, and in Bitcoin, it's a network fee. So regardless, I end up paying to move my funds from one wallet to another.
Is it possible to track the evolution of cold wallets? How have they developed to meet the security needs of cryptocurrency users?
One key development is the hardware itself used in these wallets. For instance, the Trezor Safe 3 now features an advanced chip.
Do you think a transaction from one wallet to another is trackable by what we might call external auditors?
Absolutely. Again, understand this. A hardware wallet's main function is, at its core, to securely store the private key. Whether I'm transferring money from a hot wallet or a cold wallet doesn't change the fact that I can track the transaction. Every transaction involves moving funds from one wallet to another within a blockchain system, an open ledger, Consequently, by knowing my wallet's address, the public address, even of a cold hardware wallet, I can see all the transactions that have been sent to and from this wallet. Therefore, can the movement of funds between hardware wallets or from a hardware wallet to a hot wallet be traced? Yes, without a doubt. It doesn't make a difference. The hardware wallet's job is simply to safeguard my private key securely.
It might be more accurate to ask about tracking movements and transactions. Which networks allow tracking and which ones don't?
Actually, tracking is possible across all networks that utilize blockchain technology.
Then how does Monero attract its audience by claiming to be the conspiracist in the crypto industry?
Well, I can't detail Monero specifically. In the context of wallets and concerning currencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum, the concept of anonymity doesn't play a direct role. I'm not entirely clear on the intricacies of their anonymity systems. For coins striving for anonymity, tracking transactions can indeed become more complicated. But this concern is more about the blockchain protocol itself rather than the wallet. For protocols like Ethereum or similar networks, anonymity doesn't have an impact. Regarding the security and evolution of hardware wallets, their development has certainly focused on improving the hardware used in these wallets and enhancing hardware security. For instance, the Trezor Safe 3 introduced the secure element, adding an additional security layer for your assets, especially useful if your device is stolen. Still, it's essential to securely store your backup seed phrase and employ a strong, memorable passphrase to ensure the safety of your assets. Previous models, such as the Trezor Model 1 or Trezor Model T, incorporate security features like passphrases and Shamir backup. These features were further optimized, and an extra layer of security was added in the Safe 3 model, the secure element. This secure element, as Trezor calls it, used in the Trezor Safe 3, is the Optiga Trust M v3 chip, designed to protect highly sensitive data from both software and hardware attacks within the scope of hardware wallets. The crucial aspect is to protect your recovery phrase. The innovative approach lies in designing a mechanism where the secure element does not learn your recovery phrase, which has been implemented in this model. The secure element in the Trezor Safe 3 protects your PIN without actually knowing it, effectively securing the secret phrase that safeguards your recovery phrase.
To clarify that thought, if they don't store the password in its raw form but hash it instead, is that the point?
Yeah, the PIN isn't stored as is. The mechanism is such that the recovery phrase is shielded by a PIN, and beyond that, there's a secret phrase safeguarding your recovery phrase. That's if we simplify it.
Perhaps this approach was influenced by that famous video where an engineer tried to hack the PIN of a forgotten Trezor code.
According to their wiki, they don't execute code on the chip itself. Instead, the secure element merely retains a secret that can decrypt the recovery phrase. The device itself remains unaware of the actual recovery phrase. This component is developed as open source. They dedicated significant effort to incorporate the secure element, ensuring not to enclose their code and maintain transparency in their device design. The code that interacts with the recovery seed phrase and keys is still fully open source. They have adeptly utilized the Optiga Trust M v3 chip from its creator, which does not restrict them from disclosing or openly discussing any potential vulnerabilities. Hence, they adhere to their open source philosophy, staying true to their principles. If you compare, for instance, the Trezor Safe 3 with the Trezor Model 1 or Trezor Model T, it's clear that the secure element isn't a cure-all, but certainly enhances protection against certain kinds of physical attack vectors. I always suggest Trezor to users as a guide on safely employing a robust passphrase. It adds an additional safeguarding layer against potential hacks, securing user funds effectively.
I was really taken with a feature in the Trezor Safe 3. I don't know if it was implemented in earlier versions, but it's the hidden wallet feature. Imagine if someone forcefully asks to see what's in your wallet. You can show them some minor assets in the main wallet, while your main holdings are safely tucked away in your hidden wallet. This hidden wallet only becomes accessible if you log in with your seed phrase plus an additional condition. It's like a secret compartment. This feature has proven very useful in scenarios where, for instance, influential individuals might want to see your message history directly from your device. By using different logins, the messenger displays completely different histories, one for show and one that's real. The wallet implements this concept brilliantly, probably inspired by incidents where people were forced under duress to transfer funds.
More like under the threat of a soldering iron, they were forced to decrypt the wallet. It's another layer of protection against physical threats. That's Trezor's approach.
It could be the slogan, a hardware wallet that saves lives.
Yes, protect your well-being. Delving into the past, the first generation of Trezor, the Trezor Model 1, was launched on July 29, 2014. The next device generation, the Trezor Model T, was released on February 26, 2018. The most recent model, the Trezor Safe 3, hit the market on October 12, 2023.
What do you envision for the future development of cold wallets?
Essentially, it's about supporting an increasingly wide range of networks, coins, and tokens. Everything, really. Priority goes to universal compatibility. Then comes the integration of hardware wallets into software wallets. For example, when you're engaging with Web3 protocols or DeFi apps using a wallet like MetaMask or TronLink, you can import your hardware wallet's address. You then interact with it just like any other hot wallet within MetaMask or TronLink. The difference is, when you're signing with your software wallet, it may ask for nothing or just for a symbolic PIN or password, depending on the settings. But if you're dealing with a Web3 protocol, like participating in yield farming or liquidity mining by investing your funds in a liquidity pool, it's the same process as using a standard software wallet. At the moment of transaction signing, if MetaMask or TronLink is integrated with Trezor software, you need to physically connect your Trezor to your computer, unlock it, and the transaction details will be displayed on Trezor's OLED screen for review. If everything matches and you agree, you sign off on the transaction, and that's it. You're managing your funds. Currently, this is mainly desktop-based. There are options for connecting hardware wallets to a phone, but it's not as polished. In my opinion, future developments will aim to support as many blockchains, coins, and tokens as possible. And secondly, to ensure that the hardware wallet works smoothly across all these potential scenarios, for instance.
Are you suggesting it should be adapted for everyday use by the average person?
I outlined a scenario where I use a browser extension from my desktop. When it's time to sign a transaction, I simply connect my wallet and everything works as it should. But switching to a phone, the experience might degrade slightly and not function as smoothly as intended. So it appears the real issue is about enhancing mobility. More people around the world now own phones than computers. Statistically, smartphones outnumber computers, suggesting that the hardware wallet should ideally be designed to connect seamlessly with a phone. This way, users could navigate the same scenario through their phone's built-in browser and sign transactions with their cold wallet by connecting it to their phone. Beyond this, I see future advancements focusing on the hardware used in these wallets, such as deploying more powerful chips and developing more secure architectures.
And what if we imagine a company like Apple, that Apple integrates a crypto wallet into their phones based on their security chips?
That's already been explored, actually. Samsung ventured into this territory by embedding a wallet, possibly Engine or another cryptocurrency, directly into their Galaxy phones. Samsung has tread this path, but it functioned primarily with Engine, to my recollection. If Apple were to embrace this, it would be remarkable and logical. Potentially a development we'll see in time. However, Apple's current expertise in crafting hardware wallets is virtually non-existent, despite their vast resources. This point also ties back to the importance of not just the hardware's processing power, but the multiple layers of protection against various threats. For example, there's a PIN and a secret that decrypts my recovery phrase. But that phrase isn't physically stored on the device. It's only transmitted when needed to decrypt and sign a transaction, embedding security within the device's architecture. I believe we'll see continuous improvements in security architecture, addressing emerging attack vectors as they develop. Security measures evolve, as do the sophistication and tactics of hackers and scammers, leading to the emergence of new threats that wallets will need to counter. It's also worth mentioning solutions like Trezor's Trezor Keep Metal, a stainless steel, bullet-shaped capsule that unscrews to reveal a space where you can physically imprint your recovery phrase words and securely store a paper with your phrase inside. This method offers an additional layer of security. Personally, I always keep physical backups of the recovery phrases or private keys for my main wallets, securely hidden away. Storing these details digitally, such as on Google Drive, is far from the safest option.
What's your take on Tangent's approach with the 3 interchangeable cards?
It's an interesting approach, somewhat akin to a multi-sig wallet where you have 3 separate keys. To conduct a transaction, only 2 out of the 3 keys are required, irrespective of which ones they are. Essentially, this is a practical application of multi-signature technology, which is a solid idea in itself. However, I personally find the wallet's usability a bit lacking.
Are you referring to the user interface and interaction?
As I've said before, it's crucial for hardware solutions to be well integrated. Popular browser extensions like MetaMask or TronLink, among others, should facilitate seamless interactions with Web3 protocols, decentralized applications, decentralized exchanges, and the entire range of decentralized services. The challenge arises when a wallet cannot be integrated into such extensions. If it's incompatible, I'm unable to interact because the dApps and decentralized applications I wish to use do not support that particular wallet. What's the point then? You might be able to store assets, but when you want to engage in activities like swapping on a DEX, contributing to a liquidity pool, or yield farming, you're forced to transfer assets to a hot wallet that is supported by the dApp. You could conduct transactions there and then. Perhaps for added security, transfer them back to your cold wallet.
Do you have any experience with storing NFTs on cold wallets? I've never really interacted with NFTs myself. It's something I've only observed from a distance and haven't wanted to get involved in.
NFTs are quite fascinating because we managed to make a profit from them by sheer luck. But my brain struggles to fully grasp it all. We earned about 50 Ether just from reselling a digital image of a monkey. We've invested in CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club as well. Regarding storage or interaction, whether it's ERC20 tokens or the ERC721 standards for NFTs, the principle is largely the same. Trezor provides a dedicated app where I can manage all the wallets on my hardware device. For instance, I can select an Ethereum wallet address I have, and it's displayed along with other assets like Ether, USDT, and there's also the NFT. When it comes to interactions, just as with ERC20 tokens, you can connect this wallet to MetaMask. Integrate it there, and MetaMask treats it just like any other Ethereum wallet. I've used it for various transactions.
If you were to sell me an NFT, and I wanted to buy it, all through transactions from one's cold wallet to another, how can I make sure I'm actually buying the exact NFT, like the specific punk you're showing me?
Let's get into how the transaction would actually happen.
The idea just hit me, and I thought, why not buy that punk from you?
Here's the thing. We could facilitate the purchase of the punk by sitting down together face to face. You could transfer Ether to me based on mutual trust, and I, on my end, would connect my hardware wallet and transfer the ERC721 token directly from wallet to wallet. You would then receive the token, could inspect it by accessing the contract, and dive deeper into its details. This way you could verify it is indeed the contract for punks or whichever relevant one, thus assuring its authenticity. Alternatively, we could conduct a transaction through OpenSea or another NFT marketplace supporting the network and integrated with the NFT's contracts. There, the transaction would go through the marketplace's sale contract, but the principle remains the same as interacting with liquidity pools or any other Web3 applications.
So the marketplace acts as an arbitrator of the deal?
A mediator, to be precise. Speaking of NFT marketplaces like OpenSea, for instance, it allows you to mint your NFTs, and they are generated at the point of sale, incurring a gas fee to create the contract for that NFT. Or for NFTs already on OpenSea, it has both auction contracts and straightforward buy it now contracts. You could list your NFT from a cold wallet just as you would interact with a DEX. Essentially, you integrate your wallet address, which is cold stored, into MetaMask, for example. Then you can engage in swapping on DEXs or buying and selling NFTs on OpenSea just as you would from a software wallet, with the process being identical when using a hardware wallet. The key difference is in the signing process. With a software wallet, you might just enter a PIN, while with a hardware wallet, it requires physically connecting and unlocking the wallet. The transaction details are then displayed on the hardware wallet's OLED screen for you to review. If everything checks out, you sign off on the transaction to complete the exchange. If it's a direct purchase, you simply sell it, say for 10 Ether. Take off the platform's fee and the transaction is completed. You receive your Ether and the buyer gets the punk. In the case of an auction where the process involves freezing or transferring the NFT to a contract where it's held during the bidding, with OpenSea acting as the intermediary. After the auction concludes, the NFT is transferred to the buyer's wallet, and the funds go to the seller's wallet.
I won't ask anything more. I'll be like a python digesting this information.
Regarding how cold wallets integrate with other platforms from comprehensive crypto asset management, as I mentioned, you have wallets in the form of browser extensions such as MetaMask or TronLink. These are installed as extensions in Chrome, for example. You can integrate either Trezor or Ledger with them, allowing the public address of your wallet to appear in MetaMask. This integration lets you select this wallet as one of your options within MetaMask, giving you access to all Web3 and DeFi applications. When it's time to sign a transaction, you'll do so utilizing your hardware wallet. Thus, Trezor and Ledger are among the most integrated hardware wallets compatible with software wallets like MetaMask and TronLink.
You often mention these wallets. Could you elaborate on their advantages? Could they, especially MetaMask, potentially make hardware wallets obsolete?
They won't make hardware wallets obsolete. MetaMask is among the most, if not the most, widely used software wallets today, thanks to its browser extensions. This feature enables easy interaction with Web3 applications, where your crypto wallet address serves as your identifier.
But they hold both the public and private keys, correct?
No, the private key is stored solely on my hardware wallet. It's simply added as another wallet, my public key, in MetaMask or TronLink. I can select it just as if I were creating a new wallet within MetaMask or TronLink and use it. In the same way, I can import a wallet stored on my hardware device. This process pulls in the public address and key, and I simply choose my wallet to interact with DeFi and Web3 applications. Then, when it's time to sign a transaction, I confirm it on my hardware wallet. As I've already mentioned, I might need to enter a PIN or not have to enter anything at all, just confirming the transaction. At this point, it requests that I insert my hardware wallet, which holds the private key, then displays all transaction parameters for me to sign off directly from my hardware wallet. Regarding how often you should update the software and firmware on your cold wallets and why it's important, it's because hackers and scammers are constantly finding vulnerabilities or potential attack vectors. It's the same reason you need to update the software on your computer or your browser. It's a continuous game of cat and mouse. Criminals are always evolving, finding new vectors. Developers continuously work to patch these vulnerabilities and close off these attack vectors. As for how cold wallet technologies evolve to meet the changing needs of the cryptocurrency market, my stance, which I've voiced today, focuses on supporting as broad a range of networks and coins as possible. Secondly, it's about facilitating as many integrations with software wallets as possible. Specifically, more software, or let's say software integrations, plus the ability to use the wallet with a browser on a mobile device. For instance, using MetaMask installed as an app on my iPhone, I'd be able to connect a Trezor to my phone and sign a transaction from there. The more such integrations we have, the better, including a greater number of software wallets that can connect with devices like Trezor or Ledger, both from desktop and mobile devices. Essentially, it's about supporting as many networks and coins as possible and increasing the number of integrations. Plus, of course, improving the hardware used in these wallets, possibly including hardware solutions for protecting my private keys from attack vectors. For example, like with Trezor Safe 3, there's a PIN that gives access to a secret which then decrypts my seed phrase. However, the seed phrase is never transmitted to the device itself.
I'm thinking that hardware wallets might incorporate contactless payment technology, like PayPass cards, leading to mass adoption.
That would be awesome. Having a wallet that's both a card and a wallet with NFC technology that allows, for example, linking my bank accounts to my cryptocurrency accounts for direct conversion payments would be super cool. However, I believe the NFC technology aspect could present a vulnerability. Solutions will need to be found to protect against such attack vectors. For instance, during an NFC payment, if data were transmitted that could lead to theft or somehow provide unauthorized access to my funds.
A foil wallet? Including a foil hat and socks to match?
Exactly. I just wrap myself in 3 layers of foil and leap into a bonfire. It bakes just right in there. Afterwards, you get a wallet that's practically poached from its owner. When there's a need to manage numerous transactions, swaps, and whatnot, using a cold wallet can become quite cumbersome. If you're dealing with a high volume of transactions or need frequent interactions, a software wallet is obviously quicker and less hassle, but it comes at the cost of reduced security. Nonetheless, I'm a firm believer in always making physical backups, seed phrases, recovery options, and securely storing them somewhere safe, be it a vault, a secret spot, or elsewhere. Ideally, keeping several copies is wise because caution is a virtue. Moreover, I've encountered issues working with certain Web3 applications through Ledger, for example, but I view these as temporary challenges, dependent on developer efforts to enhance these integrations and collaborations for seamless operation, minimizing errors and simplifying the user interface to require fewer steps, etc.
Considering all the security benefits of hardware wallets you've listed, if we consider the story of the miner who accidentally threw away a hard drive with a significant amount of bitcoins into a landfill, would a hardware wallet have prevented his misfortune?
Had he secured his seed phrase, the ordeal would have been avoided. He could have easily restored his wallets and addresses on another hardware wallet with that phrase, thus avoiding the landfill fiasco entirely and remaining happy.
So even in the scenario where he used a hot wallet stored on a hard drive, everything boils down to the seed phrase?
Exactly. A wallet on a hard drive. Didn't he back up anything? It seems he didn't. That's the takeaway here. Hence a reminder to always back up, friends. Without fail. Regardless of the wallet type you're setting up, back it up. I've learned from personal experience, like when I mined Ethereum Classic back in 2017 and stored it on Poloniex. I remember using a Jax wallet, a software wallet for Android, on my Galaxy S7 Edge at the time. Then, there were rumors of problems with Poloniex. Thinking it'd be temporary, I decided to transfer my funds to another exchange for just a day or two, opting not to back it up because it seemed unnecessary, and frankly, I was lazy. Ultimately, I never did the backup, and when my Galaxy S7 Edge unexpectedly died, it took my Ethereum Classic with it. Looking back at its peak, that amounted to a significant loss. It underscores a lesson that my father always emphasized. Nothing is more permanent than the temporary. I made a similar mistake 15 years ago with a company car, forgot to back up after transferring funds, and I paid the price. Always back up, no matter what.
So does this mean there are 2 kinds of people? Those who don't back up and those who do?
Yes, exactly right.
It seems like we all have to learn this lesson, but ideally by risking as little as possible.
Of course, it's worth noting features like the full list from Trezor Safe 3, Shamir Backup.
What's that? You mention it quite emphatically. I've never heard of Shamir Backup before. What makes it notable?
It allows you to split your recovery phrase into multiple parts. In simple terms, for instance, you could divide your recovery phrase into 3 separate parts.
And does only one part work on its own, or do you need to gather all the parts together?
No, you need to assemble all the parts together. It simply allows you to store the recovery and seed phrase in different locations as an additional layer of protection. For example, keep one part on your computer, another part on paper, and a third part somewhere else.
Sounds like adding a bit of adventure to life. Remember where you've kept your fragments, and then piece them together.
Exactly. CoinJoin also enhances the privacy of Bitcoin transactions. Then there's the passphrase feature. Following that, we have the secure element, a new chip that bolsters protection against unauthorized physical access. A PIN, naturally, to ensure it's indeed you who's accessing it, and a guard against unwanted access, complemented by an OLED display.
It sounds like a complicated task. I'm not even always certain that I am who I claim to be. It necessitates some form of verification.
You should just do everything with a mirror in hand.
And yet there's doubt, especially when looking and thinking, nope, that definitely isn't me.
Moreover, the wallet supports a wide array of coins and tokens, over 1,000 digital assets. The wallet comes in 4 colors: Cosmic Black, Stellar Silver, Solar Gold, and Galactic Pink. Each look quite appealing, I must say, and the 2 buttons, of course, along with the OLED display, make it probably the most visually appealing hardware wallet I've ever come across. There's also the Trezor Safe 3 Bitcoin-only edition.
I've heard it was quickly sold out on pre-order.
Well, there's nothing groundbreaking about that wallet. It's merely a new, updated iteration of the hardware wallet. The architecture has been slightly revamped, with this architecture incorporating a security chip, let's call it that, which avoids storing the phrase directly on the hardware. Instead, by entering a PIN and unlocking this security chip, the chip itself can decrypt the phrase, for example, to then sign a transaction. The design inherently focuses on security.
So, all the changes are essentially internal, within the hardware itself, if we were to summarize.